We've all sort of grown up thinking high IQ, raw smarts. That's the golden ticket to success, right?
That's definitely the conventional wisdom, but what if that's really only a small piece of the puzzle?
Exactly. Because Daniel Goleman, his research, it throws up this really surprising statistic. He found IQ accounts for only like 20% of life success.
Just 20%, which leaves this massive 80%
A
gap.
huge gap. And that's where Goleman's book, Emotional Intelligence, really comes in. He argues that 80%, that's emotional intelligence. EQ.
Mm-hmm. And EQ, it's basically your ability to first recognize your own emotions, understand them, and then manage them effectively.
And not just your own emotions, right? It's
Yeah.
about tuning into others' emotions, too.
Absolutely. Recognizing, understanding, and influencing the emotions of people around you. It's much more than just book smarts. It's about being, well, emotionally savvy.
And Goleman, he doesn't just leave it as this big fuzzy concept.
Yeah.
He actually breaks EQ down into 5 specific skills. Yeah.
That's right. 5 core components. And the first one is self-awareness.
Okay, self-awareness. So that's knowing what you're feeling.
It's knowing what you're feeling, but also why you're feeling it. Understanding the root cause and critically how that feeling might be impacting your judgment. Maybe you're revealing biases you didn't even know you had.
Right, like a hidden driver. Okay, what's next?
Next up is self-regulation. This is about managing those emotions, especially the difficult ones.
So not flying off the handle when you get angry.
Exactly. It's that ability to stay calm, to think before you react, rather than letting impulse just take over, turning that knee-jerk reaction into a considered response.
Makes sense. Then number 3.
Motivation. But not just, chasing bonuses or external rewards.
So more like an inner drive.
Precisely. It's that internal fire, that passion for the work itself that keeps you pushing forward, even when things get tough or, nobody's watching. It fuels resilience.
Okay, so we have self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation. What else?
Then comes empathy. This is crucial. It's the ability to really understand and, importantly, feel what someone else is going through.
So stepping into their shoes, emotionally speaking.
Yes. It's moving beyond just intellectually grasping their perspective to actually resonating with their feelings, a genuine connection.
And the last one.
Social skills.
Yeah.
This is about putting it all together, really. It's your ability to handle relationships well, build networks, find common ground, manage conflicts, and influence people positively, building rapport.
Okay, so those are the 5 components. And the really important thing, you mentioned Goldman's research. It shows these skills have a real measurable impact.
Absolutely. That's the core finding. Someone with, say, an average IQ but really high EQ often ends up outperforming a genius with low EQ.
In what sorts of areas?
Across the board, really. Careers, relationships, leadership, effectiveness, even just general happiness and well-being.
You can kind of picture it, can't you?
Yeah.
The brilliant team member who can't handle feedback versus someone who's maybe less technically brilliant but communicates well and motivates the team.
Exactly that scenario. Who do you think climbs the ladder faster or builds a better team environment? Goleman calls EQ the true X factor. It's the differentiator.
So this leads to a pretty big question then. If EQ is so important, can you actually improve it? Or are you just stuck with what you've got, like IQ tends to be?
Well, that's the really empowering part. Unlike IQ, which is relatively stable, EQ is definitely something you can learn and develop at any age.
Really? So how? What can you actually do to boost your EQ?
There are practical things. Journaling is a good start. Not just ranting, but actually reflecting on your emotions, noticing patterns, identifying your triggers.
So you become more self-aware, basically.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And another simple yet powerful thing, just pausing. Taking a breath before you react, especially when you feel triggered.
Yeah, I could see how that would help with self-regulation, stop those knee-jerk reactions.
It really does. Also, actively practicing active listening. Really hearing what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to talk. That builds empathy and connection.
That makes sense. Anything else?
And reflecting on those triggers we mentioned. When you get upset, ask yourself why. What underlying belief or sensitivity was touched? Understanding that helps you manage it better next time. It turns triggers into opportunities for growth.
So this whole deep dive into Goleman's work, it's really showing that emotional intelligence isn't just some soft skill, it's fundamental.
It truly is. It